Good afternoon, everybody, and welcome back to Rob Motive JT. So I've had a bit of a conundrum lately. You know, I like to switch out vehicles frequently, and I've been thinking about the Jeep Gladiator and considering, well, maybe I should get a Jeep Wrangler. I mean, we have one now, but it's the wife's. So I've been kind of trying to compare why the Jeep Gladiator instead of the Jeep Wrangler. I mean, I do love the Jeep Wrangler. I've had 2 or 3 in addition to this one in the past. But the more I look at it, there are really 4 reasons why I really do like the Jeep Gladiator more than the Jeep Wrangler and why I think the Jeep Gladiator is actually a better choice. So we're going to talk about why the Jeep Gladiator is better than the Jeep Wrangler. But before we get into it, real quick, if you haven't before, smash that subscribe button and click that notification bell so that you don't miss out on any upcoming videos. Okay, so why the Jeep Gladiator instead of the Jeep Wrangler? Number 1, space. I mean, this is an obvious thing, right? You know, the Jeep Wrangler is really a fairly tiny vehicle, which is one thing I really like about it. I mean, it fits everywhere. And of course, I'm talking about the 2-door. I wouldn't buy a 4-door. To me, that's just more SUV-like. So it is smaller, it fits everywhere. It even fits in my garage here where I can only fit a smaller vehicle on this side. I like that, but the problem is it doesn't have a lot of space. You know, it's very cramped inside, even for the driver. When you jump inside, it feels a bit claustrophobic to me. And try putting anybody in the back. Have you ever ridden in the back of a 2-door Jeep Wrangler? There is no room back there. And getting in and out, that is horrid. You almost have to be a contortionist to get in and out of this thing. So the Gladiator definitely trumps the Jeep world as far as space goes in comparison to the Wrangler. Number 2, it has a bed. I mean, I love that about it. I love being able to put the dirty bits in the back and not have to worry about messing up the interior. Also, kind of comes back to just space alone. You know, a while back, I did a giveaway on the channel where I gave away a cold air intake. And I had to get that cold air intake to the post office. So the wife and I were both going. I couldn't just throw it in the passenger seat unless she wanted to, I don't know, maybe ride on the bumper on the back. So I had to stick it in the back seat area. It wouldn't fit in the far back area, you know, where that swing door is. There wasn't enough room in there to put it. It wouldn't even clear the opening. So what I did is I had to pull the seat all the way forward and jam it in there. And when I say jam it, I do mean jam it. I had to put a little force behind it, kind of collapse the box a little bit. Not enough to damage anything inside, but still it was very cramped. In the Jeep Gladiator, all I had to do is throw it in the bed. I do have a tonneau cover on the Gladiator, by the way. So it was protected. It wasn't going to blow out, wasn't going to get wet. Nobody was going to steal it, anything like that. So definitely better in the Jeep Gladiator because of the bed. Next up, stability. I experienced this firsthand myself. You know, the Gladiator is firmly planted, has a wider stance, has a longer stance. Never going to have to worry about stability in the Jeep Gladiator. Not true when it comes to the Wrangler. I had an occurrence years ago. I was driving to work. It was in the morning. I was probably in a hurry, rush hour traffic, wet pavement, went around a curve and almost rolled the thing. I had to hit the brakes. So I hit the brakes in the curve. The thing actually went up on 2 wheels on the passenger side, slammed back down on the driver's side. I've told this story before on here. Hit my head on the roll bar. It was a very unpleasant experience. I've never had any issues like that in the Jeep Gladiator. You always feel planted, not like you're going to have any problems, certainly not like that. And I realized that was an extreme, but hey, I was just driving to work. I wasn't doing anything crazy. It was really just normal driving, probably a little faster than the conditions warranted, but still, it really shouldn't have happened. Number 4 is comfort. You know, because of some of the things that I mentioned earlier, like the space inside, it's just more comfortable in the Jeep Gladiator. There's more room. It doesn't feel as claustrophobic. Of course, you can put people in the back. No issue there. You're not going to get complaints from people like you would if they had to ride in the back seats of the Wrangler. Again, if you've never ridden in the back seat of a Jeep Wrangler, a two-door version, give it a try and let me know what it feels like. Leave a comment down below, because I would guess most people that own them, that really like them, probably aren't passengers. They're the ones driving, and it's just no fun in the back seat. Of course, I mentioned the bed. You have the bed area where you can store stuff if you want to, so you don't have to clutter up the inside with stuff, particularly if you have a tonneau cover. Then you just throw stuff in the back and not worry about it. And speaking of tonneau covers, I wanted to mention real quick, because I know some folks have complained that they've put tonneau covers on the Gladiator and they've had leakage issues. You know, I have a Tiger tonneau cover on mine. It's like one of the cheapest ones, if not the cheapest one you can buy. I've never had any issues with it. And I've driven in driving thunderstorms. In other words, rain pouring down in buckets. Never had any water get on inside. It worked perfectly. So I think in this case, spending the most money is probably not necessarily the way to go. So those are the four things I think as to why the Jeep Gladiator is a better choice than the Jeep Wrangler. Now, got to mention off-roading, of course. We are talking about a Jeep. And while I'm not a big off-roader, I think the Jeep Gladiator, under normal circumstances, is just as capable as the Wrangler. Now, of course, if you get into more extreme situations, I believe the Jeep Wrangler is the best off-road vehicle that you can possibly have. So it is going to be a little bit better than the Gladiator when it comes to that. So if that's your primary drive, no pun intended, in getting a Jeep, whether it be a Wrangler or a Gladiator, then absolutely, the Wrangler is the way to go. Now, why am I even talking about this? Again, as I mentioned earlier in the video, I get that urge, I'm kind of truck fickle, every once in a while for something new, and I am a big fan of the Jeep Wrangler. I love the way they look, and I think I might be more prone to go top down if I did have a Jeep Wrangler, particularly the soft top that I could just throw back, as opposed to having to screw around with taking that back section off of the Jeep Gladiator. It can be done, but it really can't be done by yourself. Unless you have a hoist in your garage or something, that really is a two-man job, only because it's so awkward to handle. You know, you try to pick that thing up, and don't get me wrong, it's not the lightest thing in the world either, but still, I think the average person can handle it. But you wouldn't want to drop it. It does have some glass in it. It is made out of just a real thin composite plastic or even fiberglass material. And if you dropped it on the ground, you would have a problem. Anyway, those are the reasons why I think the Jeep Gladiator is the way to go, why the Jeep Gladiator is a better choice than the Jeep Wrangler. Leave a comment. Let me know what you think. Have you had both? Do you maybe prefer the Wrangler more? And why? I'd be curious to know. Also, if you didn't in the beginning, don't forget, smash that subscribe button and click that notification bell so that you don't miss out on any upcoming videos. I do have 2 additional channels. Rob Motive, all about my 2021 Toyota Tacoma, and Rob Motive FST, all about full-size trucks. Check them out, and if you're interested, please consider subscribing. Thanks for watching. Stay safe out there. Bye.